Nerd Sports Podcast, where we talk history of the game, numbers, and stats. And each week we highlight a charity that's doing good. If you haven't subscribed yet, then you should, because I'm this the real deal. And you know I gotta shout out the Buffalo Bills. Turn it up to the max, sit back and relax. This the Buffalo Nerd Sports Podcast. Let go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the Buffalo Nerd. This is going to be another bonus episode. When we started this whole thing, it was all about, highlighting charities and, finding people doing cool things out there and, just good things happening in your neighborhood. So besides all the shows that we highlight during the week, we talk football, do all that kind of stuff, and we talk charity. But so each month now I wanted to pick out a charity to kind of sit down with and learn a little bit about the charity and let you guys learn about the charity and, kind of highlight a group, that's local to Buffalo, and kind of just in your backyard that, you can go out and help out in a bunch of different ways. So today we're going to hang out with Sarah. She's going to tell us about the Awesome Paws Rescue, right? So it's right there in North Tonawanda, I believe. So Sarah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being the first charity, to come on and get highlighted as part of this. So why don't you just go ahead and kind of introduce yourself and kind of tell us what you do?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for having me. I didn't know I was the first one. That's super cool.
Oh, yeah.
So it's great of you guys to do this. I'm Sarah, and we're Awesome Paws Rescue. We've been serving the kind of greater Buffalo area. Our address is North Tonawanda because I'm the treasurer and that's where our P.O. box is. But we're actually we serve 40-mile radius of the Buffalo airport. So kind of all around. We've been around, we're coming up on our 4-year anniversaries. We've been around for about 4 years. And we have so far saved about 1,500 dogs from overcrowded shelters down south and placed them in some really awesome homes in the greater Buffalo area.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good number. I mean, 1,500. Was COVID a big deterrent for you guys at all? Or was it something that, business picked up? I mean, what was it like?
So kind of a little bit of both. Luckily we were pretty well established. We have a really great group of volunteers and we're a foster-based rescue. So we have a lot of awesome foster houses that bring the dogs in for us. So we didn't really slow down a lot, as I'm sure you can kind of imagine. When people were working from home and quarantined, it kind of actually picked up that more people wanted to adopt dogs, which was really great.
Right.
The only thing that kind of did affect us was events. Usually we have fundraising events and adoption events and stuff. So those had to be put on hold. But we still managed to adopt out 350 dogs, I think, in 2020. So that's pretty awesome. And then the vetting, we get all of our dogs spayed and neutered and everything. So that kind of hurt us because a lot of vets had to shut down during COVID.
Right.
So other than that, we actually weren't really that badly affected.
So that's cool. Yeah, I think I'd read some stats like that there was actually a lot more people that were out, finding that when they were home by themselves, all the time, that they would rather have a companion,
Mm-hmm.
Somebody to hang out with, so it's pretty cool. And especially when, because, I have an adopted, he's a mix English bulldog, pit bull. He's a fat lug, but he's, rescue. So it's very cool. It's deep in my heart. My guest that I have on this week for the show is also, we highlighted the ASPCA.
Cool.
That was the charity that she wanted to highlight. So it's definitely cool. And like we talked about in that show, it's in your backyard, right? It's happening right in your backyard. So if there's, it doesn't necessarily have to be money all the time, right? There's different ways that people can help out. Like you said, you had a good volunteer base, things like that. So right now, what is the charity in need of most? If there's something that you guys absolutely are just it'd be cool if we had more of this, whether it's obviously money is always going to be the top dollar, right? But not everybody always has money. So what's other things going on or things that people can do to help out?
Definitely fostering. That's always the biggest one. We can only save as many dogs as we have homes for. So definitely fostering. But other than that, donations for sure. But we can always use volunteers to help out now that we are having events more. And then we also can always use volunteers to help process applications for us. When people want to adopt dogs, we have them go through a really basic application process. We call their vet and make sure that their current dogs are being taken care of. We do a quick little check of their home just to kind of make sure we're not putting them back into a bad situation like we're taking them out of. And then just beyond that, I mean, interacting with us on social media, liking, sharing, spreading the word.
Right. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I think people don't realize that just that simple stuff can be the ticket, because if it falls just in front of the right person that can do something big, or, whatever, you never know. Right.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So, do you guys have a count right now? Like, how many currently are you guys having in right now at the rescue?
So they're all in different foster homes. We actually just did a pretty big transport this past weekend, and I think we brought about 40 dogs up. So if anyone is looking to check them out, we have a Facebook page, a website, pretty much all of the different social medias, just Awesome Paws Rescue or awesomepawsrescue.org. And you can see them all. And we always get it's always a very wide variety, kind of like a Forrest Gump box of chocolates kind of a situation. You never really know
Right.
what you're going to get. We get puppies and senior dogs and every possible breed under the sun. So we have a good variety, and they're all like vetted and temperament tested. We don't take any dogs that have any severe like aggression type issues. So they're all generally like really just good, happy dogs. Yeah. So probably about 40.
And I know, yeah, I'm sure COVID might have changed it a little bit, but is like, there's still like, you can donate like dog food even and things like that to the rescues and stuff still too, right? Are you guys still able to do stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. And if we have too much, like we have 2 storage units full of supplies. And if we ever get like too much, we can take them to the actual shelters down south. Like we're going to Alabama on the 26th, and they always need stuff. So if we have extra stuff that we can't use or can't fit in our storage units, we'll take them to Alabama.
Right. And so that brings up like another point too, is right. This isn't necessarily just local dogs,
No.
right? This is, you guys are like going out and you're pulling dogs out of a bad situation, to make all this happen.
So it's really different here. I mean, Buffalo is such an awesome dog city. We love our dogs. We get dogs for different reasons than they do down there. We get dogs to have a fun, family member, and we spoil them. We take them for puppuccinos at Starbucks and take them to the dog park and dog patios, dog bars,
Right.
You name it. We're just a really dog friendly, awesome city. And these places that we're pulling them from they get them for different reasons. They're like hunting dogs or guard dogs. They live their lives on chains. They're not spayed or neutered. They go and have a bunch of boxes full of accidental puppies. It's just a different world down there. So that's why we pull them from there, because there's just so many more of them than we see here.
Right. And so like, when that you guys have to actually go down there, right? Like, and like van them up and bring them back. Is that how it works? Right. So like, that's got to take a lot to make that happen. Right. I mean, especially if you're getting like 40 dogs.
So luckily we're pretty lucky. We actually got donated a kind of like a Sprinter van, I guess you would call it. It's like a pretty good sized van.
Okay.
But there are other rescues that do the same thing that we do. And they rent vans from like Enterprise. And the shelters will give us the information on the dogs. They'll send us pictures, and they'll say this dog's good with other dogs, or whatever they know about it. And then the fosters will say, okay, I want that dog, I want that dog, I want that dog, and then we coordinate it. And usually the shelters will meet us halfway, but once in a while we will go all the way down there. But yeah, luckily we just have a lot of really awesome, dedicated people that will do that because it's a lot of work for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And so you said you guys are hitting 4 years. So what started it all? Like what, it doesn't just appear, right? So like who and what kind of kicked this thing off?
It was a woman named Julie. And I didn't start with the rescue. I started like a year after they started, but I'm pretty sure that she was working in some capacity of animal control in West Virginia, something to do with animal control down there. So she was just kind of seeing this stuff firsthand, and just, was involved with a shelter down there that is still our main partner of where we pull from in Braxton County, West Virginia. So she just kind of made it happen. Started out really small, and now we've got like 100 volunteers and fosters and doing big things.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of people to. Well, I mean, especially if you're doing transports and things like that, you have to have like a ton of people like that. So I'm sure that all hands are always welcome, right? As the top priority of who can help out. If you don't have money, you do have two hands, and it appears that they have a lot of hands needed, right? So it's very cool, but it's exciting. So you make it 4 years. That's obviously because you're volunteers, but it takes money besides that too. I mean, because the volunteers manpower is one thing, right? But then obviously you need money for vans, or people need to donate vans or things of that nature still. So you said you guys do events and stuff like that. You got anything big planned now, since you guys are actually going to be able to open things back up here to get out and do things?
We just started, like, this is actually going to be our very first adoption event that we've had in over a year since before COVID. So we're just starting back out this weekend. But we have 2 adoption events this weekend. One is on Saturday at 10 a.m. at the PetSmart on Niagara Falls Boulevard. And we'll just have a little table there with a few of our adoptable dogs and some information. And we'll always take donations too. And then the following day, Sunday, we're going to be at the Hurt Locker, which is like a CrossFit gym out in Clarence at 10 o'clock as well. And we're doing, I think they're calling it like Run for Paws or something like that. And it's like a 5K walk, run, just like a fun run type thing. You can donate, I think, $5, and then you can join, and we'll have adoptable dogs there and that sort of thing. And then we have on our Facebook page, we have a booze raffle coming up. So you can buy some tickets, and we're going to raffle off a big old basket of booze. Yeah, exactly.
Very fitting. I mean,
yeah.
just keep it real. There's no point. And just keep it real.
And
very
a can
cool.
and bottle drive at Extra Dime back in Kenmore on the 19th. So that's what we got going on.
So cool. I mean, you guys got a lot coming up. Very cool. So I imagine you had almost a whole year to plan all of these things, right? Like, because you weren't able to do so much, right?
It was we're just like, let's see what
just kind of
this goes by day.
Wait and see. Yeah, just wait and see with a lot of dreams of what you could do. Yeah, hoping, especially when things open back up. Well, that's very cool. I mean, it's exciting to see that, organizations can succeed, especially when it's like, it's not necessarily like you're just taking from your backyard, and it's not a complete hometown community type of thing, right? That just goes to show what the Buffalo community is and what it can be, is that it's open. If you need to come in, whether you're from down south or you're down here, as long as you're respectful and you're welcome, and that's the best thing about the Buffalo community. So you guys are in the backyard. It's Awesome Paws Rescue. You got big things happening this weekend. And something tells me the booze thing probably is successful. I can't imagine that thing doesn't kick off very well every year for you guys. I mean, it's like, especially with everybody now getting to get out, and be able to like just get outside again and everything, the booze is going to be hitting hard, especially with a good Buffalo Bills football team coming up in September. So anything else like does the rescue have like any big plans in the future, or is it kind of just continue to be successful at what you guys are good at right now?
I would say pretty much that. Just keep doing what we're doing and keep on saving dogs.
Right. Keep building. I mean, obviously the more volunteers you get, the bigger the numbers can go. Right. So there's room to grow, obviously. Right. So very cool. Well, Sarah, thanks a lot for coming on and chatting it up with me a little bit. Obviously I hadn't heard of you guys before I started doing some research in the area that I wanted to find, kind of a shelter to bring on, because it is close to my heart as well, with, a rescue myself. So it's very cool. Thanks for coming on. I hope you guys get some traction from coming on and hanging out just for a little bit and chatting up what you guys are doing over there.
Us, and go Bills.
Absolutely. Go Bills.
You just listen to the Buffalo Nerd Sports Podcast. Make sure you leave a review and subscribe, so you never miss another episode. We'll see you next time. Leg out!